Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I'll start here. Today I'm here visiting a friend of mine who had a really good capstone project. It's a cello recital for Olivia Qian. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. This is a bonus. It's definitely a bonus.
Hi everyone, my name is Olivia and I'm a junior in SRVHS High School. Thank you so much for coming today, and that's my piano accompanist. She is Miss Stone and I'm so grateful for her to be here. As you can see, another big passion of me is birds and wildlife conservation. So I start with the concert with the song Swan. Moving to the Bay Area was a big change to me, and both music and bird watching helped me to find a sense of belonging here. Today, members of the Mount Diablo Bird Alliance are here as well. I joined this organization last year and stay focused on the bird conservation, habitat restoration, education, and bird watching in a contract house county. Recently, I also joined the volunteering with the California Bluebird Recovery Program, where we help to monitor bluebird nest blocks at Lafayette Reservoir. And my mentor, Georgette, is also here today. And of course, thanks for everybody from the Mount Diablo Bird Alliance to support me here today, especially Matt, who helped me to coordinate all the events. So now I'm going to perform the selections from the Bach solo suites. So the suite number 1 in G major, preludes, and suites number 4 in E flat major, prelude, Coronte, and sarabande. Bach is a baroque composer, and the first one is the most renowned. And Bach is raised up the cello solo role among all instruments by creating these suites. And for the 4th suites, they follow standard baroque format that follows a series of chord dance. For the 3rd movement, Coronte is being the French dance and sarabande being the Spanish dance. Please enjoy. Before we move on to the concerto with the next part of the program, I'd like to invite Matt from the MDBA to come up and say a few words about the organization and the work they do to the community. Thank you so much.
Thank you, that was beautiful. I mean, that was beautiful. Yeah, thanks. I think Olivia invited me up here to say a few words while she rests her fingers, basically, and to tell you all about Non-Diablo Bird Alliance. And my name's Matt Tarlai, by the way. I'm on the board of the MDBA. And my main job there is organizing our field trips. We conduct about 30 field trips every year where we go out all around Northern California and look for interesting birds. And I hope if you're interested that you can come out and join us sometime. You do not need to be a member of our organization to come out, though our field trips are free. And so if you want more information, we can talk about it after the recital out in the lobby there where we have a table. Yeah, so Olivia asked me to say a few words about who we are at MDBA and our mission. But first I have to say how really grateful we all are that she invited us here today to use her recital as an opportunity to generate some support for our organization and our mission. We really appreciate it. And we also, and of course everybody who's chosen to donate today, that's wonderful, thank you. So, had anybody ever heard of MDBA, Mount Diablo Bird Alliance, before you came here today? Okay, I gotta step out of the lights. I see one hand up there, great. I know one or two other people here have also. But how about the National Audubon Society? That's a little more well-known. Oh, okay. Well, the National Audubon Society is one of the oldest conservation organizations in the United States. It's over 100 years old. And MDBA, the Mount Diablo Bird Alliance, is the local Contra Costa chapter of the National Audubon Society. And our chapter is about 60 years old. And over that time, we worked for and advocated for the support of birds and wildlife and habitat conservation all throughout our region. And if you want to know one of our success stories that's easiest to see is if you're headed up Highway 680 toward the Benicia Bridge, north of Walnut Creek there, just before you get to the bridge, there's this marshy pond over to the right-hand side of the road. You may have seen there, sometimes you see pelicans and other good birds and swans in there. Well, that's now called the Waterbird Regional Preserve. But back in the 1980s, that marsh was almost destroyed by an oil leak from the refinery that's right there across the road. And MDBA, through our advocacy and pushing the refiner and the government, we got them to restore that pond and make it healthy again. And now that pond is healthy again, and it just looks like a swamp out there, but it's really a very important stop along the great migration route that millions of birds take every year called the Pacific Flyway. And so now it's healthy again to serve as a pit stop for those migrating birds, and in the winter it hosts lovely birds like American avocets and black-necked stilts and hundreds of ducks. It's really kind of a neat little place. And that's one of our success stories. We've also advocated for many other restoration projects over the years. They're just not right by the freeway and so easy to see, so that's the reason I point that one out. I prepared some remarks mostly so that I don't just ramble on forever here, but bear with me. Okay, so now in addition to that, we do a lot of other things to support birds and nature and wildlife. For example, a lot of our members are involved with the California Bluebird Recovery program, and with the lights I can't see out there, but I know there's some, there she is. Georgette is very involved with that organization. And I mentioned that program specifically, and we kind of partner with you in that. I mentioned that one specifically because that's one that Olivia herself is involved in. All throughout the spring, she's been going out to Lafayette Reservoir once a week to march around and keep an eye on 10 nesting boxes. I've got one of the nesting boxes out there at our table if you want to see what they look like. But they're out there around Lafayette Reservoir mounted on poles, and she checks them out and sees if they're being used by birds and the eggs and the nests, and keeps an eye on the chicks inside, and she has some neat photographs you can see out there by our table afterwards. So that's an example of one of the projects a lot of our members are involved in. We also have, over the years, we've installed and kept an eye on boxes for many other species, like wood ducks and barn owls and many other birds. And these nesting boxes are really important. I mean, it's fun to have a bird in your backyard, but they're really important to the birds because a lot of these species of bird, their natural opportunities for nesting have really been destroyed by human development. A lot of these birds are called cavity nesters. They nest in dead trees, basically. And you know, in the old days, a dead tree used to stand there for 50 years after it died. And it would be great habitat for birds. Nowadays, we tend to cut them down as soon as they die. So the birds that rely on that don't have that anymore. So that's why programs like the nesting boxes are so important. Okay, now another thing we do. Have you seen, either in person or maybe on video or on a nature show, birds that have the little bands around their legs? Well, that's a way that we track birds and follow their migration and keep track of population and all that kind of stuff. Now, how do the bands get there? Well, we sponsor a bird banding team. They're up on the campus of Cal State East Bay near Clayton, and they go out there. A lot of our members provide the volunteer labor, and we also provide the funding for this. They set up nests. They call them mist nests because they're so fine you can't even see them. They call them mist nests. And they very gently catch the birds, and they go out there and they catch them, and they measure them and make sure they're healthy, and they put these little bands on them. And nowadays, it's all modern. A lot of the bands have chips in them, so that you don't need to catch the bird again to read the band. You can actually read the data with an antenna as the bird flies by. So the amount of data they collect on bird migration and the health of various species is really growing exponentially. And that's another example of the work that our organization does. And that's one station, the first station we put in there at Cal State East Bay, and we're working also with the State Parks Department on another banding station that will be in Mitchell Canyon, which is actually within Mount Diablo State Park. So that'll be great. That'll be a great addition. All right. Now, so that banding operation, that's led by a real, actual trained ornithologist. Her name is Hallie. But our members, MDVA members who don't have formal degrees, also get involved a lot with citizen science. And just one example of that is called the Christmas bird count. Now, this has been going on by chapters of the Audubon for over 100 years. Every year, their chapter goes out and they take maybe 2 or 3 dozen sites and they count the birds, all the birds, every species of bird, at the same sites on about the same date, every year, year after year. And for some chapters, this has been over 100 years they've been doing it. And so this has created one of the longest running continuous data sets in American environmental science, and this is used to track bird populations and discover threats and the effects of things like pollution and pesticides and climate change. So it's really valuable data that they collect, and that's another thing that we do. And that's another thing that Olivia actually is involved in too. She joined the team this past year and was counting up on the west side of Walnut Creek. All right, so those are just a few of the ways that our MTVA members support conservation, in our region. And just so you know, we are an all-volunteer organization. It's 100%. The donations that Olivia is collecting today, none of that goes for salaries at MDVA because there are no salaries. We all just volunteer. And any money that's funded will go to things like those chips that we put on the birds so that we can track their migration, and the antenna that they use to collect the data as they fly by, and for those nets, which are so fine that even though you repair them again and again, it'll last forever. And actually it'll go to things like the literal wood to build those nesting boxes. So all that costs a little bit of money. And it also goes another example is in December, it goes to buy the pizza and soda for those dozens of bird counting volunteers who spent all day out there in the cold, wet December weather counting ducks in the swamp. So we thank you very much for everybody who chose to make a donation today. And let's see. All right, well, so anyway, that last thing I just mentioned there, counting ducks in the swamp, if that sounds like a fun thing to do, you can check out our organization, and actually, most of our field trips are actually kind of warm and sunny, and we have a lot of fun. So we'd love to have you join us, and by that I don't mean pay to become a member. I mean just come check out one of our meetings, check out one of our field trips. We're on Eventbrite. You can stop by the table and learn about our website. And yeah, again, thank you very much to Olivia for having us here today to raise awareness and maybe a little bit of funds. And I really hope you enjoy the concert. Hope you enjoy the birds and nature and this beautiful area that we're so fortunate to live in. So thank you very much. I don't know, are you ready? Okay, she's ready to go.
So the next piece I'm going to perform is the third movement of Cello Concerto. It's a Spanish-style dance-like showcast that starts with a deep solo intro that bursts into a quick enthusiasm. It was created in the late 19th century. The Cello was influenced by Schumann and Beethoven. Please enjoy.
Excellent.
Next, I'm going to play the Cello Concerto, Movement 1 and 2. They are composed in the shadow of the World War I, where the Movement 1 is being disillusioned by the devastation of the war, and demonstrate a episodic and meaningful and with a shot. And please enjoy. recital for today, and thanks for Miss Long to accompany me. I'm supposed to have my script in my phone, but I don't think it's appropriate to take it out right now. But we still have one song left, but I just want to thank everybody for coming today for my own cello, like solo recital. Thank you, everybody.
Alright, so following up with supporting.
Family, friends, teachers, and outside friends, and little sisters. This is like my capstone project for my honors orchestra, and thank you, Mr. Nishida. So I combined my recital with the fundraiser to the MPPA. That makes the passion project, and yeah, I think that works out. And the last song I'm going to play is called Cello de Arpon. It's also from Elgar, and that's like one of my favorite songs in cello. And please enjoy.
So far, we're going to focus on the family. Alright, guys. Sorry, I'm not just playing here, but my best to, I didn't have a chip on me.
That's all I have for today's concert.
Yeah.
Recital. Thanks for everybody. There's that's outside that you guys can look out for the bird items and also bird eggs and bird information. Please check out. I really like it. It's really cute. And I think that's all. Thank you.
Alright, everyone. That was my friend of mine, Olivia and Qian's concert. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon on another video.